Okay guys, in this video right here, we're going to go over a couple of example problems, okay? And then we're going to get on with the meat and potatoes of the assignment. Okay, I want to graph this equation here, but using our new method. Y equals negative 3x plus 2. So make sure the y is by itself. It is, and you got your m and b. So what do M and B stand for? M is, okay, the slope and the Y-intercept are what those stand for respectively. So the slope is what the multiplying number of the x, so it's negative 3, and then plus 2 is the Y-intercept. Okay, remember slope is M, Y-intercept's B. Okay, so I got to go on the B to positive, or the Y, excuse me, positive, negative. So we got to go to negative 2 on that line, or positive 2. So I plot a point. Then I have to use my slope. Remember, that needs to be in ratio form, so we need to put a 1 under it. So that means I'm going to go forward 1, down 3. Or down 3, forward 1. Okay, then I take my straight edge and make a line as quick as I possibly can. And what that line shows is all the other points that could be part of the equation. So I'm going to make this one. You don't need to write this down. You just need to get the line. So that coordinate point right there, on the x, I'm positive 1, 2, 3. Then on the y, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So negative 3, 7. Now what would happen if I took negative 3 times 3 and added 2? Okay. So negative 3 times 3 and add 2, okay, from the equation, you should get an output when I hit equals of negative 7, which we do. Okay, then another thing we went over is how to look at a line and write the equation of the line. So essentially, now I have the line, I got to get back to the equation. So y equals something with x, something times x plus something else. Okay, so m and b are those two items we're missing. That's an x right there, okay? Terrible looking x, so I'll write that better so you can see it. Y equals blank x plus blank. So this is our slope, and this is going to be our y-intercept, so m and b. Sorry, this is crappy. I'm struggling on this one just to get my crap together. So m and b. So we got to find m and b. Remember, m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Okay, as soon as I know those two things, that's my equation. Okay, so the y-intercept, just go up here and put b equals. Remember, on the y-axis, you mark the point where the line crosses right there. Then up from the middle, that's 1, 2, 3. So 3 is your b, positive 3. Put that in there. Now the slope, that's rise over run. Okay, I need 2 points. This is going to be point 1. Now to get point 2, we only go forward. So dun, 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 right there. Okay, that can be point 2. So now I need to rise. I go positive 1, 2, and now I'm right up to it. So positive 2 is your rise. And then your run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is your run. So 2/5. Now, can you simplify 2/5? I don't think you can, because I think on the multiplication table it would only be in the first row. So 2/5 is your slope, and that's my answer, okay? Y equals 2/5 x plus 3. This is your whole equation. Now, what you will be doing today is writing equations without seeing the graph, okay? So the directions are on the first set. There's 3 sets of examples. Write an equation. Here, I need a page. I want to write all the directions up top. Write an equation in slope intercept form with the given slope and y-intercept. Okay, so I'm going to make my 8 boxes. Okay, here's the first one. It says m equals -4, b equals 7. -4/5, excuse me, b equals 7. So here's what you do. You write your equation in slope-intercept form. So you know you got a blank space with an x behind it plus another blank space. This is m, this is b. Now we have to determine what m and b are here. Okay, so m, b. Okay, so m is the slope, so know what that is. M is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. So, well, I know m and b right away. M is -4/5, so I can put that here. And then b is your y-intercept, which is 7. So that's easy enough, though, and that's your answer. Okay, that's all you do on these. Okay, next problem. M equals 5, b equals -2. So y equals blank x plus blank. This is m, this is b. Now always line those up so you know what they are. This is the slope, this is the y-intercept. Well, we don't need to do any figuring. They're both there for me. M is 5, b is -2. So y equals 5x plus -2. Okay, next problem. M equals -1/3, b equals 2 2/5. So this is m, this is b. So m is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. So my slope is -1/3. So you can put that here. Remember, the negative's just with the 1, and then the y-intercept is the b, which is 2 2/5. Okay, that set of problems is easy, pretty much a walk in the park. Now it's going to get a little more challenging. Now I'm going to need graphs. You don't have graph paper. You don't. When I go to a piece of graph paper, you just need to watch because I'm trying to show what you're trying to do. Okay, next set of problems. Write an equation in slope-intercept form with the given slope and solution. I'll explain what that means here in a bit. With the given slope and solution. Okay, so I'm going to make my 8 boxes of doom. I'm actually going to write down all of the examples first, okay? So this first one says the slope equals -2 passing through the coordinate 3, -5, okay? Okay, better focus here. Passing through 3, -5. Okay, the second one we're going to do, the slope of the equation is -2/3 passing through 9, -4. And then the third example says we have a slope of 4 passing through 3, -2. Okay, now let's explain what's happening here. And I'm not going to make you write this next part down, but okay, this is one of the solutions of the line x, y. Mark that x, y. Okay, so on x you go positive 1, 2, 3, and then y down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this point is on this line. Now our line actually has a slope of -2. Okay, slope equals. Okay, now let's put a 1 with that, so that means every time we go forward 1, we go down 2. So I can do that from here. I know it's not the y-intercept, but I can go forward 1, down 2, forward 1, down 2. And I can make a line out of that equation. Okay, there's a line. Now I need to write an equation for that line, okay? Here's how I do it without seeing the graph. I go y equals blank x plus blank. This is m, this is b. M is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. Now the slope is given to us. It's -2, so -2. But the y-intercept, they didn't tell us. We have to have a way to figure that out. It's not -5 because, is that on the y-axis? This is the y-axis, okay? That point is not on the y-axis, so that has nothing to do with your y-intercept. Now you're going to use it to get your y-intercept, but it's not the y-intercept. You don't just put -5 there. There is a formula you need to write every time you don't know b. It's y equals m times x plus b, and you circle the b. Now you will be crossing out the y, the m, and the x, and substituting values for each one of those three things. So the m is -2. You're going to put that there for m, so put a -2 above your m, okay? Then y and x, well, that comes from here, so -5 I put above the y, and then after the -2 I put a times dot, and then the x I'm going to put is 3. So now what do I do then? I line up my equals, I put the -5. Now see that plus sign right there, that plus sign in the middle? You drop that down, but you're going to put the b before the plus sign. You can do that. You can switch the order of plus. Now it's b plus what? Well, we need to take -2 times 3 to find out what's added to b. So -2 times 3. -6. Now, I'm just about there. I make the wall. I circle my... No, I don't circle anything. Do not circle that. Don't circle that, okay? You only circle, for a variable, you only circle if you have multiplication or division. We have none of those, so don't circle it. God, I'm stupid for doing that. Get the -6 to a 0, you'd plus 6. -5 plus 6 is 1. 1 equals b, okay? And that's your answer. Now, if you want to check your answer, you can put a dot between the -2 and the x, and you can take -2 times x, you're going to put 3 in, so times 3, and then add 1. When I click equals, this should be -5. It should match the y. Yes, it does, okay? So that's the answer. And also, if you look at that graph I made, it crosses the y-axis up here at 1, okay? But I'm not going to graph them, okay? So there we go. Okay, next one. Y equals blank x plus blank. This is m, this is b. Okay? So you've got m and b. So m is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. The slope, we know, it's -2/3. You can work with a fraction because you have a calculator. Then to find b, you write the formula y equals m times x plus b. And you circle the b, but you have to replace the y, m, and x with succinct values. So m is -2/3, okay? Then this is x, this is y. So y is -4, and then x is 9. We need to put times 9 next to the -2/3. So I line up my equals, I put my -4. Then the plus sign I drop down. Put b in front. Switch it so the unknown values first, and then what's it going to be plus? Well, I need to times -2/3 and 9. Okay, so -2 ABC3 times 9, and I got -6. So I have a wall. I'm not going to circle anything. I get the -6 to 0 by plussing 6. -4 plus 6 is 2. Okay, so put 2, and I think that's the answer. Now, if I put a dot, I can check my answer on my calculator by taking -2/3 times x, which is 9. Don't hit equals because you have to add 2. You still got plus 2. I just enter all the operations into my calculator with 9 substituted for x. Y is going to equal that, and y should equal -4. If I'm putting 9 in for x, y should equal -4, which it does. So that is correct. This is the answer, that whole equation, okay? Next one, y equals blank x plus blank. Circle this so you know that this is the answer. You just got to find your m and b. okay? So MB. So M is the slope, B is the y-intercept. So our slope is 4, and then to find the B, we apply y equals m times x plus b. Circle the B. M is 4, okay? Okay, then we put -2 for y, and then times your 4 by the x, which is 3. So drop your plus, put the b in front, okay? 4 times 3 then is 12. So I circle b and I subtract 12 to get that to 0, minus 12. -2 minus 12 is -14, okay? Now if you want to check your answer, you can put a times dot and put all the operations in to your calculator. So 4 times x, well x is 3, but then I need to plus -14. When I click equals, I should get -2, okay? I do, so this is the answer. Okay, then the last set of problems. Write an equation, equation, that passes through the 2 points, okay? Okay, here's my problems. First example is through 2, 1, and 5, 8. 5, -8, excuse me. 5, -8, okay? Then the second one through -3, 4, and 2, -1. Then the third example through 3, -2, 1, -3. Now, here's what we're trying to do. I'm going to use my graph to show you. So 2, 1, that would be 2 on the x, 1 on the y. That's 2, 1, okay? Okay. Now, 5, -8, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 5, -8. So those 2 points would be a line, okay? And my job is to write an equation from the line, okay? But of course, once again, we're not going to have that graph, so we need another way. There it is, okay? So we need to write an equation for that, just seeing the coordinates. So y equals blank x plus blank, mb. So mb. M's the slope, b's the y-intercept. Now these guys, we don't even know the slope now. So when you don't know the slope, we apply y minus y, x minus x. Okay, so let's move over here, okay? Mark your x, y points, 2 and 5. So I'd start here, I'd put -8 over 5. Then I would put 1 over 2. Remember, the y has to go on top. So -8 minus 1 is -9, 5 minus 2 is 3. Then you look at your multiplication table and you will find those both in the third row, so divide them each by 3. So I have -3 over 1. Now, if you have 1 on the bottom, it has to be a 1. It has to be a 1. Any other number you got to keep, but with a 1 you can get rid of it and just put -3 for your m. Now, how are we going to find b? Well, the same way we did last time. Y equals m times x plus b. Because neither one of those points are on the y-axis, okay? Neither lies on the y-axis, so we need to apply this formula here the same way I've just got done doing. So m is -3. For y and x, you can pick either point. I picked the one I circled, the one I started with. So -8 for y, and then 5 for x. And you can pick this one too. It doesn't matter. You should get the same answer for b, no matter if you use this for x and y or this one. Okay, so that's going to be plus, put your b, -3 times 5 is -15. So get your negative 15 to 0 by adding. And negative 8 plus 15 is 7, so 7 equals B. So put that there, and you got your answer. Now you can check your answer if you take negative 3 times, let's start with 2, and then add 7. I better get 1 out of that. I do. Then I go negative 3 times 5 plus 7. I better get negative 8 there, which I do. And also, if you look at your y-axis, it crosses it at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I made a crap. That's because my line sucks. Okay, just don't mind that. I know that's stupid. I can't believe I did that on camera. But next one, y equals blank x plus blank mb. I just proved it's 7 from the coordinates, just because I'm an uncoordinated idiot who doesn't know how to make a straight line. Okay, that's not your problem. Slope, y minus y, x minus x. They did not tell me the slope, so I need to come over here. What point should I start with? Well, when I compared negative 3 with 2, 2's higher. So negative 1 over 2. Then 4 over 3. Negative 3. 4 over negative 3. So negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. 2 minus negative 3 is plus plus, and that'd be 5. Okay, now, if I don't need the multiplication table, I need to divide, but I don't need the table because I just divide by 5. So it'd be negative 1 over 1. What did I say on the last problem? If you have a 1 on the bottom, you can ditch it, okay? And then negative 1 is your m. Because I really don't care to have a fraction when doing this second part. I like integers if possible. So m is negative 1. And then I pick one or the other. I'll pick the point where I started. Negative 1 for y, 2 for x. So line up your equals. You have negative 1. Drop your plus sign. Put your b first. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. So I make the wall. I don't need a circle anywhere because there's no times or divide. Just a negative 2 I have to get to 0. So plus 2, plus 2. So it's going to be 1 equals b. There's your answer. Now if I want to check the answer, I go negative 1 times negative 3 plus 1. I got 4 just like I should. Negative 1 times x, which is 2 plus 1, negative 1. Bam. That's right. I know it is. Okay. All right. Last one. So MB. So m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So again, xy, xy. I need to apply y minus y over x minus x. Okay, if I compare a 3 to a 1, I'm obviously going to start with 3. So 3 on bottom, negative 2 on top, then 1 on bottom, negative 3 on top. So it'd be negative 2 plus plus 3, which is 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, so I have 1/2. So I cannot divide that, okay? And I cannot get rid of the bottom because there's a 2, it's not a 1. So I need to actually put 1/2. You cannot cross out a non-1, okay? Then b, y equals m times x plus b. Okay, so the m is 1/2. X, Y, you can pick either set, doesn't matter. I'll pick this one where I started, negative 2. Take your 1/2 times 3, so I have equals negative 2. Drop your plus, but put your b first. Then take 1/2 times 3, okay? 1 and 1/2, that's okay, you can deal with that. Okay, so I got to get the 1/2 to 0 by subtracting. So I take negative 2 minus 1 and 1/2. Negative 3 and 1/2. Put that there and you got it, okay? Okay, I'm running short on time in the video. You probably want to get to work. I'll do one of them. So 1/2 times, I'll go 3 plus negative 3, ABC1, ABC2, it should be negative 2. It is, okay? Then 1/2 times, I'll do 1 plus -3 and 1/2. I should get -3 when I hit equals. I do, so that's the answer.